Okay, let's do this. How y'all doing tonight? I got y'all muted, so y'all ain't got to unmute. Up, Mr. Knight unmuted. What's going on, Mr. Knight?
Great day, young man. It's a great day.
Yeah, it get bigger and better every day.
Yeah, I
Josh.
see that.
All right, so I ain't gonna waste no time. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long. So this liquidity pool class. So every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central Time, we do the liquidity pool class. I appreciate everybody that's been stepping up, participating, supporting, helping this thing grow. So I do want to say that if anybody else is interested in getting up here and helping run the class on Wednesday nights, sharing your own account or asking questions or quizzing other people, we're looking for somebody to step up and help with that part. And then also on Mondays, starting next month, after I do these 4 master classes, basically, I'm going to do a master class on NFTs, on the gold and silver, basically another version of private banking. We're going to do the bill pay class, and we're going to do real estate. So I'm basically going to do those 4 big classes before the end of the year so everybody can have something to review and stay updated. And then on Mondays, we'll focus on those things and just build on top of those on Monday nights. So that'll help make the schedule a little simpler for everybody. So Monday morning come up, and then Monday nights call. If you don't make it, then we'll provide the replays somewhere in the school on YouTube. You'll be able to get access to the information. Do I got any questions about what I just said? Anybody? Any comments, concerns, anything? All right, so I hope that worked for everybody. Start off going to the school real quick because I just made a few posts so I can follow up on this call. If you're somebody that does not have access to the school community, just get with me or someone else that you know that's in the community. It's right now it's $29 a month, basically to learn all of the different things that we go over to help people learn how to grow their assets, grow their wealth every day. Okay, now Miss Turner, I'm gonna focus on you real quick because you commented on this. So Coupe versus Solana. What's the difference? I wanted everybody to be able to read this post and identify which asset is more valuable. So she said Coupe was more valuable, even though what we've learned about stuff in the class. Actually, let me quote you exactly what you said. What you say? She said the market cap for Coupe is 524,000 with a total supply of 20 million tokens, and the TVL is 217. So that means all of the Coupe coins are worth 524 altogether, and there's only 20 million tokens ever going to be available. And they have 217,000 in cash, in liquidity, in equity. Coupe is also a community driven token, which makes it more sustainable because only those who are participating and supporting really care. So that's what makes it sustainable. They're actually intentionally participating to grow it and use it and build it. The market cap for Solana, which is an entire blockchain, it's a whole network. So they have other cryptocurrencies beneath it. Coupe is under Algorand. So that's also something. Solana is a coin and Coupe is a token. So Solana has 154,000 market cap with an 184 billion in supply with a total TVL of $173,000. If you look at those numbers, it's obvious that Coupe has more cash in it than the Solana coin. Also, the market cap is higher, but Solana has a bigger supply, 184 billion coins. So for a blockchain, to me personally, those numbers don't add up. I don't like it because I understand how these things work. I want to see more TVL, regardless of what the supply is, and then the higher the market cap, that's how big the asset is. Basically, that's how much it's worth price wise. but we really care about the TVL because that's the cash value. That's how many people are staying put to earn from the fees and to support the network or the community. So for that, Coupe is correct. Solana is actually not more valuable if you understand the numbers and the metrics. But I'm glad you answered it. So, well, so that's why we focus on the TVL because that tells us how strong the asset is, how much cash is available. So then I post something else. Um, I thought I posted, I did inside announcements. So another highlight for the day. So we also have a liquidity pool deal with Coupe. Since I'm already talking about Coupe, every month they're gonna match us $100 and they're gonna add it to the liquidity pool on their side. So I send them $100, they add $100 that to the liquidity pool every month. And that's on top of the fact that Coupe already has its own community. So out of our 67,000 that we at now in TVL, 2,500 of that is coming from the Coupe cycle pool. And that number is going to grow at least by $200 per month from us adding to it. That doesn't take into account when Coupe actually goes up in price and the people are buying and selling Coupe. So just looking at Coupe real quick, look at the chart a little bit. It has a lot more liquidity, which means it has more volume. So we do about $1,000 a day in volume, which is transactions. Coupe's doing 32, and it could have a good day and do 5, 10,000 in transaction. And it has a nice balance of all of the other coins and tokens on Algorand. Right? It's a community driven token, so it has partnerships with a whole bunch of other communities. And just like us, their biggest pair is Algorand. So most coins and tokens that are built on the Algorand blockchain will have their biggest liquidity pool with Algorand. So when the price of Algorand goes up or down, it will affect that token more. And as you can see right now, Algorand just came back down to 11 cents, just went back up over 12 cents. So it's down 1%. And then if you look at us, we're up 7% for the day. Algorand's down 1.5% for the day. And I was just telling one of my buddies, learn to count your money in percentages and not in dollars. So if you understand that over the last hour, BlockCycle token is down 24 points. And remember, it takes 100 points to make 1%. It takes 100 points to make 1%. So we're down, because it's red, 24 points. But for the day, we're up 700 points or 7%. And everybody already knows to watch the TVL. So you're constantly seeing the TVL increase. And then just like we did with Coupe and Solana, we can look at ours. So our total TVL is 67,000 and our total market cap is 136,000. So we are actually getting up there with Coupe and Solana. And we have less traction, less money, less resources than them because we're doing a concentrated effort. I also want to highlight focus for anyone that's going to be adding to liquidity pools over the next, 2 months. I'll say what I'll be doing personally. I'll be focusing on getting the gold and silver liquidity pools back to 1,000, 2,000, because gold and silver are projected to outpace all the other assets over the next coming months. It's already been outpacing the other assets. So just to incorporate a liquidity pool with gold and silver, and if anybody, matter of fact, you know what? Let's see. Who can answer this question? How does it benefit us if we set up a liquidity pool with Cycle and Silver? Can anybody answer that? How does that benefit us? How does that benefit you individually, and how does that benefit us as a whole?
As gold increase in value.
I can't hear you. Say it again.
As gold increase in value, cycle also.
Okay, and why is that?
Because the creation of of the pool, and is that correct?
Yeah, you're not finishing it, but you're close. You're on there. I'm gonna go over it, but I appreciate you, Patrick. So here we go. This is the Cycle Gold Pool. It has a total TVL, total liquidity of $258. There's 22,000 Cycle, and there's 1.4 tokens worth of gold inside of this. It's only doing $10 in volume, which means out of all of the buys and sales over the last 24 hours, it's only been $10.40. Out of all the transactions over the past week, it's only been $72. And then it's only generated fees for the liquidity pool of 3 cents. And these are the transactions in real time. So it's not a lot of volume, not a lot of activity on the gold and cycle. However, this benefits us because, like Patrick was saying, when the price of gold goes up, the liquidity pool will automatically buy cycle, and vice versa. When the price of cycle goes up, it'll buy more gold to balance out the liquidity pool and keep it even, keep it fair for other people to buy and sell. So my next question is, when the price of gold goes up with this liquidity pool and it buys cycle, what happens to cycle when we buy cycle?
Rises.
Say it again, Mr. Knight. What happens when we buy cycle?
Well, in the are you speaking of the cycle and the gold liquidity pool or any other liquidity pool? That if
Let's focus on cycle gold right now. So in the cycle gold liquidity pool, when the price of gold goes up, the liquidity pool automatically buys the cycle to keep it balanced out. What is the result? What happens to cycle?
puts more cycle in circulation, it raises the price of it raises the price of cycle.
That's exactly what I'm looking for. So no matter how much, no matter when, whenever somebody buys, the price goes up. Green means buy. Buy means price goes up. So on the opposite side, if you see red, red means sell, red means the price goes down. And it's easy to just see that without trying to stare at the chart and wonder what's going on. But I am going to highlight this little piece right here so that you guys can actually see what's going on to make a better decision of if you want to buy now, if you want to wait a little bit, or if you want to sell, or if you want to wait a little bit. So looking at this big green candle right here, somebody did a big buy. They did a big buy and it pushed the price all the way up to 614. Okay, but as you can see, it has this wick, this long line right here. This is showing you that when it reached that high, that there was selling happening. This is why the line is up there, because the buys went all the way up there, but then it came back down because people were selling, or the liquidity pools, the automation to keep things balanced, pushed some of that price back down. And then the same thing happened here. The price kept going down. Then it went up, and that's why you see the wick here. Same thing here. Same thing over here. Same thing here. It's just reversed if it's a red. So in the red, it was going down, but people were buying, which pushed it back up, and it left that wick, it left that line there. So this is how you can see what happened during that hour, because this is the hour chart. So in the course of an hour, somebody bought big, and then people sold back half of it, and then they kept selling, and then they start buying and buying and selling, and that's all they can do is buy or sell. Which brings me back to the point of why we want to make sure that we focused on buying, but also providing liquidity. Right? I just got my uncle set up yesterday, and I explained to him why I like crypto so much, because you get to buy the asset, take custody of it, hold it, own it, control it, but then you get to cash flow it. So he's been sitting on Bitcoin for a while, and just sitting on your Bitcoin doesn't really help you. Of course, you're going to benefit when the price goes up, but you can also make money and cash flow that asset. If we understand now that cryptocurrency is an asset and you can cash flow that asset, it only makes sense that once you buy it, you take the next step and start generating more income on it. So if we look right here, Bitcoin is up 2.5% in the last 24 hours. BlockCycle is up 7% in the last 24 hours. So just according to that math, if you put $100 in Bitcoin, you would have made $2.50 in 24 hours. If you would have put $100 in BlockCycle, you would have made $7. And then let's do a negative. If you would have put $100 into the CHIPS token, you would have lost $2. And this is how you basically count your money in percentages. As long as these percentages are increasing, then you're gaining appreciation. This shows you appreciation and depreciation in price. That's what the change here is. Appreciation. So this is what everybody sees when they're looking at numbers and they're looking at charts. They're looking at appreciation. They're not looking at the value. We're focused on the value. All right. And I want to highlight something else. So let's do this token right here. AlgoFam token. So they have a price of $6.06. They are down 2.5% on the hour, and they're up 95% in the last 24 hours. So obviously somebody did some big buying here, but look at their chart though. It's pretty dead for the most part as well. You can check their liquidity pool. They only have 2,000 in Fame Algo, and they don't have any other major pools either, right? Even their Coupe Fame is only $28. So these are the things you take note of regardless of the asset. They have a total TVL of 3,600. Their market cap is 66,000, and they only have a 10,000 supply, 10,000 tokens. So they only made a small supply so that way more buyers can make the price higher, right? But that doesn't help them if they don't have any liquidity, which is what's important here. Another thing I want to point out is, let's go here. So this is Allo. For those who don't know, this is how you can check all of the transactions. You can check the assets, and they have 1,400 holders. What I wanted to see was created date. So this token was created 2021, and this is the comparison that I wanted to bring up. We have 1,200 holders. Our token was created March 2024 this year. And let's look. So this token is basically 3 years old. And look at how successful it is. And they have their own app. They have a lot of connections. Like I know the guy who runs it. Like they have been doing work in the real world, but their token is not performing to reflect that. So on our end, we have our token is reflecting us using it, building, practicing, learning. And I'm working on getting some stuff happening more offline in the real world, because that's what's going to make the biggest impact, because people still go on the computer to do stuff that'll impact them in the real world. The point I'm making by bringing up this token is, even though it shows they made 95% profit, like that's not a major gain because they don't have any liquidity. So it's not that valuable. I don't care how much it's worth. I care about how valuable it is. So as you can see, this token is 3 years old and we are more valuable than them. So our efforts together, learning, practicing, is more valuable than the work that they're doing. And they're doing some type of like agricultural thing. So that might be slow for people to hop onto. We're learning and teaching people how to use the tech to make money. They're trying to turn the tech into some way to make it easier for farmers and stuff like that. So it's just different areas, but we're both using the same technology. All right, so I hope y'all were able to see the difference in and see how impactful our token is compared to that. And just to go a little deeper, we got Chris. So Chris made his own token, Wealth Wave. Now let's look at Wealth Wave's token. So we know Wealth Wave is attached to Cycle. Cycle and Wealth Wave have a large liquidity pool together. So this is benefits us all who hold Wave and Cycle, because these two tokens now support each other. And me and Chris and a few others, our main focus is to continue to add as much stable TVL to Wave. Right now, Wave is basically just number 2 waiting in line to come and flood the market. So we're in good position with this one. All this is a token that you buy and hold. And that's not investment advice. I'm just saying this is an example. Once you check the numbers, this is a token that you hold. So it has a market cap of 20 million. It has a total TVL of 47,000. It's up almost as much as Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. So that's even something more important to take note of. And it's attached to cycle. So when cycle goes up, it goes up. If it goes up, it'll push cycle up. So if you just get a little bit of both and pair it, you're continuing to support and make it more strong. So that's Wave. And this is a token also created by someone that's learning from what we do inside of BlockCycle. So from the education and the information provided, all the way down to providing the liquidity to make this actually work, is why the liquidity pools are so important. And you can see we got over like, I don't think 40, 50 liquidity pools. And you can invest in any one. They all support cycle. Even if you do the same thing with Wave, Wave has its own set of liquidity pools as well, right? So we're building something real strong here. I just want you guys to understand the main reason we focusing on, like example, I gave Chris the heads up on the silver and gold maybe 2-3 weeks ago, maybe. So he's taking advantage of that, and now he's been able to benefit. We've all been able to benefit. All of those who've either receiving Wave from our rewards or who bought Wave on our own are benefiting from the price increase of silver and gold, because what happens? The silver is going to buy more Wave. The gold is going to buy more Wave. And that's going to do what? Make the price of Wave go up. And if we look at the chart on Wave 2, it's doing basically the same exact thing as cycle. It's consistently going up, especially like this Friday when we do Friday buy day. These big spikes, let me see, this is the 12th. And then, yep, the 19th. So this is how the chart should look basically from week to week from my calculations. It should look like, and let's go back a little more. Let me see. Yep, it should look just like this for every week. Friday buy day come. It doesn't matter if you're putting in $10, 100, 500, whatever. And then throughout the week, everybody's going to buy and sell whatever they want. But just going by the Friday buy days. And I'm just freestyling right now. This is what we've already been doing. So just sticking with what we've already been doing, we're going to see a constant uptrend. And that's what's going to take us back into private banking when I bring that back up. And I'm going to look at this again before I switch. So right now, somebody just bought, obviously, because it's green now. And I'm going to do the same exact thing. This is what we want to continue to see. And we understand what's creating the demand for the token. One is the education that we're providing, that we're practicing. That's what's making the price of this asset go up. That's one factor. But we only have 100 people inside of school, and we got maybe a couple other hundred in around here or there, but we only have about 1,300 accounts. So if we only have 100 accounts that we know are solid, that we control, then there's still another 1,300 accounts out there that's buying and selling with us, which gives us our TVL, why our TVL is so high. And this is why the chart looks the way it looks, because we have Friday buy day. People are staking. People are basically doing what they learn. And you do not have to only do this with Cycle. You can seek out other ways to do this with other tokens. And that's why I stress knowing how to see where the value is. Here's another one, OG Squad. We got an LP deal with them as well. They have 14,000 total TVL. Their market cap is 16,000, and they have a total supply of 100,000 tokens, and their price is 16 cents. And they just had some recent big buys. Still, in fact, though, let's check theirs. How old is this token? Who made it? Things like that. You want to always double check those things before you just jump in there. Okay, and this token also made before us in January of this year. So it had a few month head start, and we're still outperforming them. So then that's basically the competition. Like nobody's doing it how we doing it. I just wish it was a way for us to get it to more people. So I'm working on that. Um, like once again, like I said, I'm personally going to be focusing on Cycle Gold, Cycle Silver LPs going forward, getting ready for that gold and silver class. I will be putting the gold and silver class, all the classes in the calendar actually. So we have the morning come up 10 a.m. and then myself and Wealthy will be doing that for now. And we got a few more people, Chris, Shanae, Mike, will also be taking over on some of these days just to share different perspectives in the morning come up. And then on Monday nights, 7 p.m. Central Time, Monday nights, we're going to be going over the bill pay class, the private banking, and the real estate. I'm going to leave the NFTs on Tuesday. So Tuesdays, NFT Tuesdays is going to be coming back. And then we're going to have those 3 classes running on Monday. Me and Shanae will get together and fix up the calendar later. Um, any question, comments, or concerns on what I just said? Anybody?
Yep, just you know what? I got 2 actually. One, when you originally brought up liquidity pools, you asked the question of why gold and silver liquidity pools, or I'm sorry, cycle and silver, why that would be a good thing. Also, you said when it comes to transactions, or you didn't mention that you get paid off for the transaction. So even if it goes up or down, no matter when people are buying or selling, the transactions generate a fee. So I feel like that would be an important distinction. And then I also wanted to ask about like the different layers, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. Do you think that'll be a good thing to highlight or go over as we progress through different classes?
We don't hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
We hear you
Yeah,
now.
I can hear you now.
Can y'all
Yep.
hear me? Can y'all hear me? I don't know what happened with that. All right, it's still going. Okay, y'all can hear me. All right, so Eric, Josh, you asked the question where you chimed in and said you get paid off the transactions for liquidity pools, which I hope most people here already knew, but if you didn't, by providing liquidity, you are going to be doing 2 things. One, you get the benefit of price appreciation. This is what's important about seeing the price go up. And then second, you earn from the transactions on the asset that you provided liquidity for. So if you provided liquidity for Cycle Algo, you're earning fees there. Cycle USDC, you're earning fees there. Wave Cycle at Coupe Cycle, P Gold Cycle. So you're earning fees regardless of some buys or sell. And instead of trying to predict that the price is going to go up and down, just keep in mind that somebody will buy and somebody will sell. Okay, so that's that. What else did I want to share? I went over this. So classes coming soon. Oh, so right, I'm gonna do the 4 big classes. Make sure everybody has something that they can review and update. Those 4 classes that I do will go into school, and then on Monday nights we're just gonna do like a review and update on those different things, because you basically got all week to practice whatever it is that you want to get better at. Okay, so that's all I really got. I just want to do this call this week. Do anybody got anything they want to chime in or ask me? I can do some questions real quick, break some stuff down.
Yes, I got a question. Is the staking available for all of the liquidity pools?
Oh, my man Larry. Okay,
What's
what's
up?
up, Larry?
I'm good.
No, they are not yet. So that's one another thing. So here goes something else I'm going to point out. Right, because I know some people don't know exactly what's going on here. So let me go back to the liquidity pool deal with Coupe. Okay. All right, so liquidity pool with Coupe. I sent them $100. I sent $100 from the BlockCycle treasury, because some people were hitting me up. They didn't know that we had a treasury. So like that's a part of the DAO that we're going to create. So when everything is running on autopilot and I don't have to do as much as I'm doing now, it'll basically run on its own. And all we have to do is continue to support it and know exactly what we are doing. But let's look at holders real quick. All right, so we have Vault. This is a Vault with 7 million tokens. This is the Treasury account with it had 2.2 until I sent those 18,000. And then we got Randy, me. This is the new person that did that big buy today. I'm not sure who they are, but they've been with me for a while because they have some of my tokens from like a year or two ago, some of my NFTs. So somebody who's been following me. And then I'll see this. I look at this a lot, so I pretty much can identify whose wallet is whose, even without the names on it. So this is the DAO. This is what I use to pay for certain things, send out rewards. On top of that, we have a rewards wallet. Now, this is where Larry's question comes in. So on the rewards wallet right now, we have 87,000. So that means I need to be sending some more over there for that. All right, so the thing is, the Treasury is responsible for filling that up. The DAO is responsible for filling that up. So right now, since I got a lot of the keys, I do what I can to keep filling up these rewards so that everybody can keep getting their payouts every day. And I was talking to the developer today, so like at some point, BlockCycle needs to make its own money, or we won't be able to do the rewards thing like I'm doing it now. But everybody will still have their value. All of the stuff will still be there, but you won't be getting the free money because there is no free money. I'm basically recycling the new value back to everybody that's supporting it. So that brings me to here. So this is the new website that we're working on. Still got to add a lot of stuff to it. I definitely want to get more testimonials from you so that other people that we share the website with can see us on there, see our results, see that we're actually doing what we say we're doing. Staking. Disconnect from this one. I lost my train of thought a little bit. Larry, what was your question again?
If you can stake from all of the liquidity pools.
Okay, so yeah, not right now. That's what I was about to say. And that's only because we don't have enough rewards to pay everybody for staking every liquidity pool. All right, so here we go. We got this NFT. This is from Foster. So we also got another token coming online soon. Yeah, so be on the lookout for Walter the Wise token. And Foster made that, like I said, staking. All right. So right now, you should be able to stake Wave. You should be able to stake your IPT cycle liquidity pool, your BlockCycle token. If you have a banner, because there's only like 100 and something banners out there. So if you have one of these, you should be able to stake your banner. If you have this Circle of Life NFT, you should have this. If you have a segment, you should have this, or you should have the Eco Shuffle. If you have bought the NFT hoodie or you actually bought the physical hoodie, then you should have this NFT and you'll be able to receive rewards. So my goal is to get as many tokens paid out as rewards. Mind you that the dark coin is not paid out yesterday because we ran out of rewards for that. So as long as we keep filling up the different tokens, you may not get all of them every day because we got to fill it back up. I got to fill it back up, but you'll still be getting your payouts for the most part every day from whatever rewards are available. I'm actually going to get a disclaimer put up here for that. So it'll be a post that you basically getting paid out of what's available to get paid. And I need to figure out a way where if it's not live that it doesn't show up. So that's like a bug that we got to figure out. So it's not showing you things that you can't stake. Like Cycle THC, you should be able to stake that one. And you should be able to stake the Coupe cycle as well. So I want you guys, if you have those liquidity pools, test it out and then get back to me so that we can know and I can go over it again and go and double check what is and what is not official. And just to give y'all a little look at how I do this part. So I get to choose what tokens you can stake, and then I get to choose which tokens will pay you out. Right? And I'm keeping it as low as I can so that we can divide the rewards for amongst everybody. But that's part of how this works. So now exactly what I've done for BlockCycle are the same things that I want to do for other communities, other organizations, other tokens, because this essentially can be a service. This is what I personally call the money printer, right? Because all you got to do is stake, which is like another word for deposit. And just by staking, you get paid every day. Let's use this banner. Right? So you're getting paid out. And I did the math. If you get 5 assets and you get paid out 0.025% every single day, that's over 5%, 500% APY. So at the current rate, just getting paid that 0.0025 on 5 different assets, it'll come out to 500% APY. Or a little more than 500, but that's a good number to know. And we are already on pace in doing that. And this is the power of staking, like compound interest, basically. But instead of the money compounding, you just get paid out off of what you already have staked. But then you can take that and add it, and then you can take that and add it, and you can compound it yourself. Okay, so that's it on the liquidity pools. I hope that cleared that up for you, Larry. Anybody else got a question?
I have a question.
Shoot.
When I go on the app blockcycle.org, like every other day or whatever, it tells me that I have the option to stake. So is this something that we need to do every day? Continue to stake?
So every time you go to blockcycle.org and then you click launch cycle, it takes you to the app, to the platform, and it tells you that you have to stake over.
Yeah, it has the green button that says stake.
Like this.
Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, I gotta double check this because I'm looking at it now and mine's just saying this. I'm not sure if I redid it or not. Like I just clicked on here and it says today's the 22nd, so it looks like it's paying out to me. But I will confirm it tonight. Remember, rewards start going out 11:30 p.m. Central Time every night.
Okay.
So like right now, I don't have this Wave is not staked because this is the DAO wallet. So this is not mine. So I'm just using this to manage and administrate stuff. But let me look at mine's real quick. And the goal is to get this platform in better shape so that it runs on its own, and then that we can reach more people. Because staking is like the easiest part of this. You buy it and stake it, and it just get paid every day. Okay, so it looks like all of this is paying out. I know some of you don't have an ordinal NFT, or if you do have an ordinal NFT, we have to actually program it back in so that you can stake it. So if you have an ordinal NFT, get with me so I can get your ID number, your asset ID number, and plug it back into the platform so you can start earning rewards for your ordinal. And I'm going to pick this one. And same thing applies. So 1 day, 2 day. All right, so I got to double check this and see if it does it tomorrow. But it says staked. So mine still says staked on this one. Okay, so it says unstaked. I need to stake my NFT right here. But just do a double check is what I'll say. And then if it comes up that you need to restake, if you actually notice that you staked it and it didn't stake again the next day, let me know. That means either your account has a bug or it's a bug on the end of the application that's not, connecting or sending the right message between your account and between your wallet and the platform. So that's that. Patrick, you got that?
Okay, yes.
Okay. Anybody else got a question for me? Come on now. I know somebody got a question. We doing so good, y'all. I know y'all getting it. The numbers tell me that we getting this thing. So anybody got any question? We too far gone now for nobody to be speaking up.
I got a question, Walt.
Go ahead, Mr. Mike.
My question is that the Buy Friday, would you equate that to dollar cost averaging?
Yes, sir, I would do that. Yes, sir, exactly. That's a great way to know it. Great way to call it. So I'll just go and break that down. That's an easy way for an investor to start investing. It doesn't matter how much you have, and it doesn't matter how much it costs to start investing. What you do is every Friday by day, you say, I'm going to spend $10 or whatever I want to spend on Fridays, and just continuously buy on Fridays, regardless of if the price is up, the price is down. You make sure that you get yours on Fridays. And that's one of the reasons that we came up with the Friday buy day without saying dollar cost averaging. Right? As long as everybody knows that we're going to be buying as a group on Fridays, it's okay to pitch in with your $5-10 because you're not the only one contributing, and you'll be able to see the results in real time, which is another thing that I wanted people to actually be able to identify. Which is why when you see green, buy, you see red, sell, but then you also know you're getting paid when they buy and you're getting paid when they sell because you provided liquidity.
Question. If I see a red line and I have some cash I want to drop into the Cycle coin, that's a good time to buy, isn't it?
Yes. So I'm going to say this clearly from my own personal experience and how I see investing or trading. Prime example, when this person bought, somebody sold. Even if it was Tiny Man's automatic liquidity pools, they saw the profit come in, they saw the gains come in, they saw the money come in. So they sold. Now, I don't want people to be predatory or abusive because we're trying to keep this thing fair. But I can't tell nobody what to do with their money, and I don't want to tell anybody to do with their money. But that's why knowing how it works, when is the best time to do and not do, and be a little more patient, is this. If someone is selling, they're selling for two reasons, I personally think. One, they're selling because they're ready to cash out and take profit, or they are scared. Like my uncle, he told me his Bitcoin went down $10 and he took it out, but he enjoyed it when it went up $150. So that's an emotional thing. Now, seeing it go red, that means somebody's cashing out. They either scared or they're taking profit. In this case, they're probably taking profit because we've been doing nothing but going up, 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 up. So it's probably just somebody taking a little profit, which is understandable. So that means it's an opportunity for you to buy because when they sell, the price goes down. The value didn't move. Now, this is another reason for you to check the TVL. right? Like if you saw the TVL go down to 5,000 from 67,000, that's something to be concerned about. Who took all the money? Where did all the money go? But if you know that somebody sold, okay, the price dropped, but that 67,000 is still growing, which is important because we hit 572 earlier, and that's what actually took us to 67,000. Now we're still at 67,000, but we're under 572. And that's why I focus on the value. And that means focusing on who's adding to the liquidity pool. Like I got a guy that asked me, so if I had $2,000, should I put the whole 2,000 into cycle? And I told him no. I would put 1,000 in cycle and then take the other 1,000 and add it to the liquidity pool. So now not only do you benefit when the price is going up, but you're also earning when the price is going up and when the price is going down. So when you see it going down, Mr. Knight, somebody selling, that means it's going to be cheaper. That's where the discount comes in. That's when everybody's scared because they see it red. They think it's bad. But in actuality, that's the discount. That's why people say buy the dip because it's going to go back up.
Right.
And then vice versa. When you see it green, if you bought a week ago, 2 weeks ago, or if you bought yesterday and you see it shoot up to a nice number, then it's okay to sell. It makes sense to sell. It's logical for you to sell if you see that I've been holding this and the price went up. I don't want to take it all, but I know I got a little profit, a little value. I can take some off of here, and you can add that to the liquidity pool. You can go and stake that extra, so earn from it every day. You can go buy a totally different asset. You can move it around. Now you're growing your money, expanding your accounts. Like that's the whole thing. Increase as many streams as you can.
But we're in the process of not only growing our account, but also um, growing the BlockCycle arena as well.
Yeah, the whole community is growing as a whole. Like there's nobody that's been holding for the last month that should not be in profit.
So that's where that dollar cost averaging come. Okay, let's say I bought way back on the bottom end of this chart you got there. All right, way on the bottom end of it. You
I'm sure
know,
you did.
okay, I probably did, but now
Go
put a line on like in the middle of your screen. Just put a line in the middle of your screen and show the value of this token. How much was it that day?
on October 16th, that's my birthday. It was 396.
How much is it today?
568.
So now we have all that growth in the midst
No,
of that, and
570. 570.
570. But with the growth there, we've even had somebody, a bot or a person that came in and took some of that liquidity out, and we're still at a higher number.
That's right. That's us working together. That's a group economic transaction. This is the way banks make money. This is how corporations make money. They figure out a way to get you to consistently put your money in one place. You get a lot of people to put their money in one place, you got $1 billion market. But who's controlling the market? In this case, we control the market. We control the TVL. We control the price. Anybody on here right now can buy more and push the price up or sell some and push the price down. They could remove liquidity and make it less valuable. You know, and those are the same things that happen on Wall Street. Same thing happened with stock. Same thing happens with all type of different securities, bonds, etc. Somebody's buying it, somebody's selling it, and somebody's getting paid to process it. So we just
So this is, if you say it's like the stock market, then that means that we have to have confidence in one another that this token is going to rise because we are contributing to it, not just one person, but all of us.
correct. And on that note, I'm going to go deep because I haven't had a chance to go over this much. So right here where it says lock TVL, 2.12%. So 2.12% of the 67,000 is locked away forever. So we know we have a total TVL of 67,000 and 2% of that is locked away forever, which means this contributes to the price of cycle never going to zero. That's the easiest way for me to explain it. By burning the liquidity, and burning just means you're putting it into a vault forever where no one can access it, locking it up into a contract. where you agree that you don't want to touch it ever again. No one can touch it. So I've been sending a few dollars here and there. I know a few other people have been sending a few dollars, like $5, $10 at a time. So also we all contribute to this. This increases the chances of cycle never going to zero and keeping that level of value that we already at now. The more we push the lock TVL, the more we can make sure that we have that value available forever to have access to. So this acts as our own personal reserves. But like Mr. Knight said, we do have to have confidence in each other. And that's why I'm glad that the majority of us have learned exactly how this works so we can be more strategic when we're doing our transactions, and we can be more receptive to what's actually happening on the other side, because we can't control the other 1,300 people that hold BlockCycle token, right? Like anything can happen. My tires can go out of my car. I need a new furnace. I got to go pay for this, rent, due, whatever it is. That's one of the reasons you don't invest more than you can lose, but we're not investing. So remember that we're past investing now. We're using these assets to make money. We're not just getting the asset and hoping the price goes up. We understand why the price goes up. So we can't bank on that all the time. But we can bank on it going up and down, because people are going to be trying to get in and make profit, or they're going to need to cash out. And there's a fee. We can sit back and collect that fee. You also have staking. The benefit to staking is simply you're supporting and providing security, strength to the community in this case. When you stake BlockCycle token, you're providing security, stability to the token and to the community. Your tokens are not inside of Tiny Man. They're on the platform, and you're being rewarded for that. So these are basically tokens that are not being moved. They're sitting still to create that stability. Because remember, more transactions, big transactions create volatility. We're trying to decrease the volatility so that this can become a nice, safe, secure place for us to put our value. So total TVL lock is 212. This is the picture that I showed recently, and I said we want to get our liquidity burned over 1,500, and we actually almost there. So if anyone sends liquidity pool, this is where you send your Tiny Man tokens. When you provide liquidity, you put in your algo, or you put in your spec and your cycle, you're going to receive Tiny Man tokens back. Those are the Tiny Man tokens that are inside of your wallet. You can send those Tiny Man tokens to the liquidity burn vault, and they'll be locked there forever. So 1.5 million was from the commitment. A lot of you did the commitment that'll get unlocked in December, and you know the price of those tokens went up since we did that about a month, 2 ago. So that's guaranteed profit that everybody's going to be seeing off of that. And then there's that original 7 million that I got locked away. So right now the total supply burned is 125,000 cycle. So there's 125,000 cycle that will never come out of the liquidity pool. And then there's 125,000 cycle that will never come out of the vault. And the liquidity for that is 1,400. So this is going to continue to grow as the price grows. Even if we add no more liquidity, this will still, if we burn any more liquidity, if we do not burn any more liquidity, this is what keeps the price from going to zero, because this liquidity will always be there to go back and forth and let people buy and sell. So
When was that liquidity put in there?
The burn liquidity?
Yes.
Let me go. I burned one token. So if you ever look at them, says that the total supply is 23 million. The actual total supply is 23 million point 9999999, because I set up the burn vault so that we could actually burn cycle in the future if we wanted to. Then cycle and pool. So 4 months ago is when I started that. Then 4 months ago we burned some more. 4 months ago, burned some more. 3 months ago, burned some more. 2 days ago, somebody burned some more. Whoa, shit. That's a lot too. 4 months ago, somebody burned. 4 months ago, somebody burned. Patrick, this you?
You said it's me where?
You did the burn the other day when we were talking about it?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, let me see. I'll go look at it later. But so that's the burn right there. So 4 months ago, and I know for a fact that I'm the main one that's been burning. So I've been sharing it and explaining it to a few people because you understand, if you burn liquidity, you're basically giving up your liquidity. So you're not earning those fees anymore from those transactions. You basically coughing that money up. That's why I do it like $5 at a time, $10 at a time. So it ain't like no big, oh, I'm giving up $50 forever, because it's gonna grow. That $5, that $10 is gonna grow to $100 at some point because we're steady doing what we do. So being conscious of that, you don't want to put too much, but you want to, help create some stability by locking up the liquidity forever. And this protects us all when someone does that, right? Because the price never goes to zero. That means it can always go up and down without any issues, which is important.
But
And
is that considered our liquidity pool?
it's still a part of the liquidity pool. It's just locked away so no one can remove it. So as an example, right now, if I wanted to, I could remove this 2000, this 2100 right here. This 2100, I could remove this from the liquidity pool, and that would make the total TVL go down by 2400 because I removed the liquidity. But by locking the liquidity, we ensure that that amount is still available for people to buy and sell.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
No problem, Mr. Knight. So we're gonna be going over that again. But if anybody wants to, feel free. I think about 500 to 1,000 Tiny Man tokens. Cycle Algo is the main one that we got right now. So if you got a nice amount, feel free to send 500 or 1,000 of your Tiny Man Cycle tokens, and then I'll do a one big burn so that everybody can, so we can use it as a learning tool. And I'll put a post up for that, so you can send it to the commit wallet, and then we'll just do a big burn. Plus, I'm going to be doing a big burn for New Year's, just for everybody to get a heads up. So that number is going to increase anyway, because this is a part of how this thing works. Burning liquidity does that for it, keeps us from going to zero, just to keep it simple, like without all of the technical stuff. It leaves the money locked in there forever for somebody to use it, somebody to buy or sell with it. I basically forfeit the fee that comes from providing liquidity. What else? What else? What else? I guess that's it for now. Anybody else got anything they want to add? Want to ask? Well, okay. Well, this will be recorded, and then I'll put it on in the liquidity pool section. All right, that's it. So I appreciate y'all for coming. Is there a link for the masterclass? I have not made the links for the masterclass yet. I've only been taking payments. I'm going to be doing the master classes on Mondays. So that's another thing. They're going to be on Mondays when I do the official classes. And then I'm going to follow up every Monday where we can go over those things in detail so you know what's going on. Most of you been with me for a while. Some of you are new. So I'm just going to do something that where the newer people can get updated, and the people that have already been with us can get a review in. And then on Mondays, we're just going to flow it. So we'll be able to continue to help each other. And I look forward to you asking more questions so that we can get deeper into this, because we all have a good idea of what we're doing here now. So the only thing is, how can we do it better, and how can we do it together? Because it's happening. Like, I'm surprised a little bit. I'm not too surprised because I already know this is possible. But now that we're doing it, I got my own community of people with me. We know what's going on, and I'm actually working to catch up with Coupe in a way, right? Because I'm a part of the Coupe community. Like, I'm in the chats. I'm a part of the DAO. They got a nice thing going on here. And then if you look here, though, look at this. How much of their TVL is locked? Locking your TVL is a very important thing, because you're forfeiting the fees forever, and you're making sure that people can buy and sell forever. That's important to note, right? But as far as the community, they're a good community. They support each other. They make things happen. I didn't see them get burnt a few times by people they thought was down, but when that money hit, because they had a lot of it, they ran and dumped it on them, sold it all, and didn't give a warning or anything. So I want us to be able to prevent things like that by us actually knowing what's going on, where the goal is, where we're working towards. So since we're getting close to the end of the year, I'm going to say this again. P-Gold is my number one pick for the year. Even though I love our BlockCycle and we doing our thing, this is my number one pick. So that's why I want us to get this cycle P-Gold pool up too, because P-Gold is going to do some crazy shit. And the reason I say that is because look at how much of their TVL is locked. So P-Gold cycle is going to be a very important liquidity pool for us personally as a community, because they have 80% of their TVL locked forever. And that's a lot. It's like 500,000. And then they have a market cap of 646,000, and there's only 10 million P-Gold. So that's another thing that's important. It's only 10 million of those tokens available, and they're already in circulation. So the only way to get some is to buy some. And when you have a liquidity pool, it's kind of like you get to recycle them. So if you buy tokens and you provide liquidity, then that means other people can buy tokens and provide liquidity. And then more people can do that. So even though it's only a total supply of 10 million, mathematically it can keep recycling itself and growing to the point where the numbers just start to get inflated because people are buying and selling the same assets to each other over and over and over and over again, which is how the capital markets, securities and bonds and everything, and what they call them, derivatives were created, and how people scam and sell stuff that they don't actually own, things like that. So this is important to know, though. This is why I like P-Gold so much, is because I know for a fact the value is locked forever. So it's always going to be money there to access. Okay. And then I got the P-Gold DAO on standby too. So I'm a part of their chat. Like, I don't know the people that made P-Gold, but a lot of the community members of P-Gold, I know them because it's fully decentralized. Nobody actually controls it. All they do is do things to help it grow, help it benefit. Like right now, if one of you wanted to throw your own party, if you wanted to make your own hoodies, you wanted to make your own products based on BlockCycle, you have 100% authority to do that, right? Because it's something that's helping get the message out, get the brand out, get the community growing. Like, you guys own this community just as much as me. And I say that a lot. I got people that be on my back about being the leader and this and that. Like, I don't have a problem with being a leader because somebody got to do it. Somebody got to teach and show and lead. But I do want to put this thing on autopilot, because we in the day and age where nobody needs to have to give up so much time to do anything. It's about working smarter, not harder. And the best way for me to help myself was to help other people figure out this. So that's what we're doing here. So I appreciate all of y'all time, energy, support, and let's just keep doing what we're doing. Right? It ain't been that hard. So I thought it would have been a lot harder, but now that I see it happening, I can see us hitting that 100K before the end of the year. Yeah, we almost at 70K. So yeah. Anybody that want to get into classes, just hit me up, contact me so I can explain it to you if you're not sure on anything. But there will be 4 classes that's going over the 4 topics. We're going to be having classes on Monday nights just to keep reviewing and making sure people sharp on that. And that's it. I'm about to go eat, and I'll be looking at my messages if anybody reach out to me and need some clarity or want to share anything with me. So y'all have a good night, and talk to y'all tomorrow.
Good night, all.
Thank you, family.